Hi, church family. It's Micah, and I'm so blessed to be spending this little piece of Holy Week with you. Today we are reading from the Gospel of John, chapter 12, verses 1 through 11. I'll be reading from the New American Standard Bible, but I hope you'll follow along in whatever Bible you have handy. Jesus, therefore, 6 days before the Passover, came to Bethany, where Lazarus was, whom Jesus had raised from the dead. So they made him a supper there, and Martha was serving. But Lazarus was one of those reclining at the table with him. Mary then took a pound of very costly perfume of pure nard, and anointed the feet of Jesus, and wiped his feet with her hair. And the house was filled with the fragrance of the perfume. But Judas Iscariot, one of his disciples, who was intending to betray him, said, "Why was this perfume not sold for 300 denarii and given to poor people?" Now he said this not because he was concerned about the poor, but because he was a thief, and as he had the money box, he used to pilfer what was put into it. Therefore Jesus said, "Let her alone, so that she may keep it for the day of my burial. For you always have the poor with you, but you do not always have me." The large crowd of the Jews then learned that he was there, and they came, not for Jesus' sake only, but that they might also see Lazarus, whom he raised from the dead. But the chief priests planned to put Lazarus to death also, because on account of him, many of the Jews were going away and were believing in Jesus. So I love these stories of Mary and Martha and Lazarus at Bethany, because these are people who had Jesus as a friend. He was someone who was in their lives that they got to have dinner with and share their home with and presumably have incredible conversations with. And he was giving them this new way of living, of, yes, significant sacrifice, but also the great joy of sharing in life together. And we see this in Mary in this story, where she has this hugely costly possession. Judas says it could be sold for 300 denarii, which the footnotes in my Bible tell me is 11 months' wages. So this is a lot of money that could be on the table here, but for Mary, the best way to share that gift is to give it to Jesus. And in so doing, she also fills the entire room with this beautiful fragrance. And although right now we can't be together in person, we're seeing what happens when we share our gifts with our community and fill that community with the joy and beauty and loveliness that comes from living in communion, even though we're physically apart. We've seen our communities come together to make sure that our children are educated and fed, to make sure that our elders are not alone and lonely in this time of physical separation, and to make sure that each one of us, no matter our age or our place in the community or our job situation, is taken care of. And to me, that is the most beautiful way that we could be observing the season of Lent, the season of sacrifice, where, unlike many years before, for most of us probably, we've given up a lot more than we planned to, but we've also had the opportunity to give to our communities, to one another, and all of that is an act of worship to God. So I have a song for you today, and I was talking with Nicolai about what this would look like, and I found this song. It's one that a lot of us are going to know. If you don't know it, I hope that the lyrics are handy. I'm going to send them with the video, and it's about how we're not alone. We're not ever on our own, because we have Christ here with us. He is a rock. He is our constant companion, and in him we can stand strong. bought with the precious blood of Christ. No guilt in life, no fear in death. This is the power of Christ in me. From life's first cry to final breath, Jesus commands my destiny. No power of hell, no scheme of man can ever pluck me from his hand till he returns or calls me home. Here in the power of Christ I'll stand till he returns or calls me home. Here in the power of Christ I'll stand. Here in the love of Christ we stand. Dear Lord, thank you for the blessing that is your love and your strength and your hope as we celebrate the greatest gift that you gave to us this week. I pray that we would remember that you have also endowed us with gifts of our own, not to be held close, but to be shared with you, with the people we love, with the entire world. And I pray that through those gifts, that world would come to know you. In your holy name I pray. Amen. Happy Holy Week, church family. I hope to see you in person sooner rather than later. And happy Easter.